Nung sinabi ni Kuya Earl, I'm virtual champions. Akala ko ikaw na talaga yung kabuuan ng VC, Kuya.
Ready na po for mature roles.
Sa library? Grabe naman yun.
Single po siya. Tapos according dun sa team lead niya, naka-move on na siya. So, hit him up.
Ready na po ulit makipag-date. Ready na ulit
Bilis
Hit him
ng boss
up.
ng balita.
Pinugaw.
Dito po ako today kasi naka-receive po ako ng mga 10 death threats para sumali sa book club. Tapos,
Grabe naman sa death threat. Sige, pero wait lang. Kasi baka ma-record din naman yung buhok kong magulo eh. Dahil sila naman.
Normally, for example, for normal marketing clients, lalo na sa, let's say, clients that I've handled through, normally talaga may ADHD sila. Hindi ko alam kung anong meron, do I attract like people who have ADHD, pero laging ganun yung napupunta sa aking kliyente.
Dati struggle yun ng mga introverted people na nagiging leaders, nagiging managers. Kasi nahihirapan sila na how can I talk to people if I don't like people? Or how can I be with people if I don't like people?
Hello! Happy Friday, everyone. So, another episode of, 48 Laws of Power. Anong chapters nga tayo ngayon? Chapters 37 to 39. Yan. So, if it's your first time here, magpapakilala muna kami. Pero kung hindi mo first time, pwede mo naman i-skip tong intro part namin. And so, my name is Earl. I'm Virtual Champions Business Development Manager. So, kung mag-a-apply ka sa mga internal roles sa amin, mataas yung chance na ako yung mag-i-interview sa'yo. So, like, follow, subscribe, comment, para pag nakita kita, mas mataas yung chance mo to be hired. Wow! ng suhol. Okay, siguro next na lang na mag-introduce si Virtual Champions PH kasi siya yung pinaka-dedicated na member. Ang pangalan niya, yung company na. Go, Edge.
hi, hello, I'm Edge and I'm part of the operations management. Tapos yung boss ko yung nagsalita kanina, si Earl. Tapos, ako po yung nag-edit ng video. So, kung okay sa inyo, i-like nyo, i-follow nyo rin. Kasi, syempre, effort yan. Then, ayun, thank you. And I roll the ball to Jana.
Like, comment, kasi doon nakasalalay yung trabaho ni Edge. Jana, ikaw na daw.
Hello po. Nung sinabi ni Kuya Earl, I'm virtual champions. Akala ko ikaw na talaga yung kabuuan ng VC, Kuya. Meron parang kasunod yun. So, ako po si Jana. Ako po yung palaging magulo yung buhok sa videos. Marami po ako kulay sa bahay, pero magulo rin yung buhok ko. Huwag niyo po i-like yung mga videos para po mapagalitan si Edge. Thank you. Okay, next. Next, I see Elaine.
Hello po. Ano ba? Charing. So, I'm Elaine. Hindi ko na alam yung position ko dito. Charing. EA po ni, Kapitana Eloy. And marketing girly. Ayan, and VA din po. Ayan, sideline na VA. Yun lang po. Next, si Sweet.
Hello. Ayan. Sa mga hindi po nakakilala sa akin, si Sweet po, stay-in katulong ng VC. Daycare center ng VCPH. So, yung may mga anak dyan, akin na mga anak.
Daycare
Daycare
principal
center
po.
at stay-in katulong po. Tagahugas ng pinggan, tagaluto, utusan, papuntang palengke. So, yun. On-call sa marketing, pero full-time VA. So, yun. Yun po. Next, sino ba? Si Ying.
Hi, so yes, I'm Ying, VA sa VC. 98% chance na hindi ko kayo masasagot ng may silbi na sagot. So, yeah. If you want nonsense, talk to me. Next is Vince.
Hello. What's up? What's up, people? I'm Vince, project manager. Vince out.
Single.
Si Vince.
Single ka.
So, yun na.
Vince,
Ano
saka
po,
rin-
pakilala
Ano
natin si
naman?
Vince. Siya po si Vince, single po siya. Tapos according dun sa team lead niya, naka-move on na siya. So,
Nakamove
hit
on
him
na
up.
siya. Ready na po ulit makipag-date. Ready na ulit
Bilis
Hey,
lumabas
Bob.
ng balita.
Pinugaw. Vince, sino yung next? Hindi ka pumili.
Ay, sorry. Si Ate CJ.
Hi guys, CJ here, BA manager sa VC. Yun, so I'm supporting some of the BAs within VC. Ano lang po. Next natin siyempre si Da. Hi Da. Hi Da.
Ikaw po. Boses ka ba ng...
Kailangan nila
Ano ba yan? May naka-swimsuit ako.
Yes.
Oh,
Ready na po for mature roles.
Sa library. Grabe naman yun.
Ganun talaga, B.
Earl, nerds
Para
gone
kabog.
wild.
Ano ba? Anong gagawin dito? Bakit may pagkakakilanlan? Nakala ko book club to.
Introduction.
Kaya lang natin pang intro lang. Name,
Ah,
tsaka
okay.
ano ginagawa mo sa VC. Si Edge na bahala mag-edit.
Name. Ano po? Ano nga pong pangalan ko? Daryl po. Tapos, ginagawa ko sa BC, ano po, tambay lang. Ano po, BA manager din. Tapos, naghahawak din ng ibang mga BA
Anong
like
hinahawakan mo? Yung sinasabi ko.
BA. Ano po, si Nicole. Tapos dating Home for the Aged. Ganun. Pero ngayon, medyo onti na lang sila. Isa na lang, ganun. Yan lang naman po. Sunod na sino bang hindi pa natatawag?
May mga bagong dating. Si Ate Elin. Si Ate Elin yung tawag niya. Si Sofia. Andyan.
Sophia the Third. Go.
Hello po. Nice meeting you all. Bago lang po ako sa marketing under kay Madam Sweet.
Taray
BA
naman ni Madam Sweet.
Kasi meron na akong mga
Aray na natin Madam Fit. Fit dapat sa mga susunod. Meron ka ng sticker, mga jewel dito.
Oo, dapat
Ganon.
dapat tawag nila sa'yo, Sweet Boss. Boss Madam.
Ay,
Ganun.
boss, Madam.
Boss Madam.
Amo.
Tugaw lang.
Si OG. Ganun.
Yun po, sa marketing po ako, VA, part-time, sana maging full-time soon. Taray.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, ulitin ko na lang po. Johan from team ni Miss CJ. Nandito po ako today kasi naka-receive po ako ng mga 10 death threats para sumali sa book club. Tapos,
Grabe naman si Death Threats. Uy,
Hindi po
grabe
ako.
ka naman CJ. Grabe sa mga naman
Oh,
si CJ.
hindi ako.
joke lang po, wala. VA po ako currently with my property host. And tama po si Miss Da. Virgo po ako. Blood type is B from Antipolo City. Thank you.
Okay na. CJ, it's your time to shine.
We will be discussing yung 3 laws for today. So let's begin. Okay, next slide. Ayan. So for laws 37 and to 39, the first law is law 37, which is create compelling spectacles. Pabasa naman po. Jana, sige ikaw na. Parang hindi ko magtampo.
Sige, pero wait lang. Kasi baka ma-record na naman yung buhok kong magulo eh. Dahil sila naman. Okay, law 37, create compelling spectacles. Striking imagery and grand symbolic gestures create the aura of power. Everyone responds to them. Stage spectacles for those around you, then full of arresting visuals. Full of arresting visuals and radiant symbols that heighten your presence. Dazzled by appearances, no one will notice what you are really doing. Nice. Ano to, confidence lang. Kahit mali ka confident ka lang.
Ay, more on appearance siya. So, yun. Thank you. So, dun sa summary kasi nung create compelling spectacles, it uses dramatic gestures or and visual symbolism to command attention and shape perception. So, ang pinaka-application kasi nito, at least for me, is yung, di ba, pagka mga, kunyari sa marketing, meron talaga tayo na mga visuals na ginagamit to raise, parang, you raise yung brand awareness or kunwari for yung mga examples like 'di ba pagka yung sa color theory sometimes may mga brands like yung Jollibee, KFC since food yung ano nila dinedeliver nila as yung service or yung business ginagamit nila yung color na red on most of their yung sa branding strategy to compel yung parang ano bang tawag doon na they can attract people to eat food. Kasi ang sabi sa yung ambience ng red can actually make you hungry. Something to that effect. So, yun yung nakikita kong application in terms dun sa spectacle na sometimes it's being used yung mga visuals or especially pagka may mga like dito sa real life application, political campaigns, viral marketing stunts, TED Talks, and with theatrical delivery. Meron kasing mga specifics wherein they really use yung something big or something na would attract your attention to gain power. Tapos, in the reversal, in a data-driven or skeptical environment, spectacle may seem manipulative for authenticity and subtlety. So parang on the reversal of the law, we're actually being asked na instead of using bright visuals to exercise your power, you still have to show your authenticity. So, yun. Punta tayo dun sa question. So, dun sa question, have you seen spectacle used effectively in real life? Is it manipulative or just a smart strategy?
Sa akin, pag spectacle in real life, for example, kapag gumagawa ka ng report, kasi di ba for normal marketing clients, lalo na sa, let's say, clients that I've handled through, normally talaga may ADHD sila. Hindi ko alam kung anong meron, do I attract like people who have ADHD, pero laging ganun yung napupunta sa aking kliyente. And when it comes to reports kasi, hindi sila, parang mas okay sa kanila na may emojis. Weird ba? Weird siya for me nung una akong pumasok kasi kailangan ko lagyan ng emoji yung report, mga ganon, yung headline, headers, mga ganyan. Pero kasi at some point, making your, I'll say, simple report, like a simple stand-up sa kanila, making it, I'd say, visually appealing by adding just, parang emojis or let's say, polished presentations, mga ganyan. At some point, it makes the report much easier for them to understand or grasp. Kasi, di ba, lalo na kapag stats yung meron tayo. Minsan kasi ma-overwhelm ka by numbers, lalo na kapag first time mo nakakita ng marketing stats o sa website or sa ganito. Having like, let's say, well-designed reports, lalo na yung mga clear dashboards nila, makes them easier to see na, ito pala yung nangyari, what happened. So, yun lang. Yun yung for me. And at the same time, sa akin parang yung mga reports ko sa kanila, I'd say na kapag merong mga images or merong mga ganong extra extra work na may mga appearances or let's say visuals pa, nagsa-stand out siya compared to other remote workers or BAs na na-handle na nakaano nila na parang you took your extra time to really make this specific report just for us to see na hindi lang numbers but to see like the real life like application of the marketing materials that we've pushed through, mga ganun. So yun lang.
So more on pag sa marketing, smart strategy talaga siya, sweet, no? Kasi kailangan talaga natin siya to make it visually appealing, attract to the market. I think isa dun sa mga very good example nung spectacle pagdating sa mga like sa contents, 'di ba yung mga visual hooks na pag nakita mo kasi siya first 3 seconds na nakikita mo yung visual hook, it grabs your attention And it helps na magkaroon ng brand awareness, which later on helps in the conversion ng mga tinutulungan nyo in terms dun sa marketing. So, yun. Any other insights pagdating? Si Edge, since mga, tayo, more on contents time na ganyan.
Yes, so ang pinaka-recent kong naalala dito is yung yung presentation ni Mark Zuckerberg ng Meta glasses niya. Tapos, simple lang, pero pinakita niya from the beginning yung nasa trailer siya, yung entry niya pa lang, parang ganun. Na-emphasize na yung bago nilang Meta glasses. Which is, kung iisipin natin, parang matagal na siyang technology. Pero with that, yung ginawa niya dun sa parang presentation nila that day, or which is recent ka na nangyari, na-emphasize na parang, well, ang ganda ng technology na yun, and parang yung audience wow nung nakita nila yung ginawa ni Mark Zuckerberg with that presentation. So yun yung nakita ko decent na spectacle na effectively nagamit. Is it manipulative or just smart strategy? I think siya. Smart strategy siya, pero nag-affect pa rin talaga siya ng psyche ng mga people kapag ginamit siya. Ayun po.
Any other insights po pagdating dito sa kasi Elaine na lang.
Hello po. Parang same lang kay Sweet, yung isi-share ko. Kasi ako naman, personally, yun din yung prefer ko. Kung kung makaka-receive ako ng report. Like, kompleto with visuals. Kasi before, sa previous work ko, ganun din. Pag pinapagawa ko ng slides, hindi lang siya figures, like meron talaga may graph, ganun, tapos may pictures, as in, parang hindi siya boring. Hindi ko alam. Baka may ADHD din yung boss ko nun. Charis. Pero ganun, very, pati sa bahay, very, din ako, ma-aesthetic, ganun, mga gamit, maarte talaga ako sa gamit, ganyan. So, for me, itong spectacle, more on, beautification ng ko sa kanya. Ang tawag nito, parang take away ko, gano'n. Yun lang po.
Okay.
Siguro din para sa akin, kapag gumagawa ka ng mga ganun, parang, di ba, normally when it comes to advertisements, parang kailangan tumatak siya sa tao. So by like having the visuals itself, parang, minsan naman hindi ka bumibili talaga ng product just because of the product eh. Minsan bumibili ka ng product kasi nakita mo siya as enticing sa ad. Like, let's say, for example, yung unang MacBook Air na ginawa ni Steve Jobs, pull out niya yung MacBook Air from an envelope. So, imagine, like, seeing na ganun kanipis lang yung laptop mo before. So, parang ako, parang, girl, kasya siya sa ganito ko lang na bag, na feeling ko kahit na hindi ako magmalaking backpack, makakapagdala ako ng laptop. So, parang, minsan, laging, yung just because it parang stands out, tas nakita mo agad siya, tas tumatak siya sa'yo as a person, you'd purchase that specific product kasi yun agad yung nakita mo. Parang ganun.
So yun, kasi dun sa Law 37, ang isa sa mga key points is what they mentioned is people respond more to appearances than logic. Dramatic gestures leave lasting impressions and use visuals and rituals to command attention. So, very important talaga yung visuals in terms sa, I think on a day-to-day basis, especially dun sa pinaka-role natin. Like, for example, sa amin as VAs, it's important na you use visuals for, yun nga, as mentioned ni Elaine kanina, for reports, mga ganyan. Kasi, it grabs the attention of the person that you're speaking to. And at the same time, it adds value to whatever you're presenting to them. Kasi nakafocus na sila doon. So, you already got yung attention ng person, then it's much more easier for them to understand what you're trying to let them know through the presentation that you present.
Di ba when they're reporting news then? So, very important kasi when it comes to data science, tsaka science communication, whether you're a visual learner or not, yung mga graphs, kasi di ba may iba't ibang type tayo ng mga graphs, may iba't ibang way kasi ng pagpe-present yung data para mas siyang viable dun sa audience mo, di ba?
True.
So, like, kunyari kung population, mas maganda yung pie charts. Kung progress, mas maganda yung horizontal bar graph, yung mga ganun. So, things like that. Pero ang point ko doon, like for example, when they announced when they published yung HIV cases in the Philippines, na parang, di ba, agad siya, parang ang laki ng number. Pero, they didn't emphasize na, dati kasi walang surveillance, kaya we don't know. So, parang ang dating tuloy dun sa audience is, ang prolific naman ng mga kabataan ngayon. Pero, hindi lang diagnosed before, hindi lang detected dati. Yung ganun. So, for me, in some cases, nagiging siyang manipulative, especially in mass media. So, kaya dapat careful tayo when we're sharing things din. Pero in some cases din, para siyang smart strategy. 'Di ba? Like for example, when we're presenting, kunyari nagsisend tayo kay ng report kay client or nagre-report tayo sa team members ng growth, we usually try, kapag it's something positive, we usually try to frame it na mas malaki siyang magmumuka. Like when we're giving discount kay client, alin ba yung mas malaki yung tunog? Yung percentage or yung dollar amount? So, depende kung alin yung mas malaki yung tunog, alin yung mas maganda sa kanila when they read it. Yun yung ilalagay natin dun sa proposal or dun sa offer natin. So, when it's something negative naman, we try to present it in na para siyang maliit na bagay. So, like for example, when kunyari, ito, hindi ko alam kung okay ba ito i-share. Pero kunyari ito, when you're trying to appease a client. So, when you're trying to appease a client, and gusto mo na parang makita niya na may effort ka, mas maganda yung to-do list when you're sharing progress. Kung hindi mo natapos lahat, mas maganda yung to-do list kasi mas mukha siyang, ang dami nitong nagawa kasi ang dami niyang na-tick na box. Pero kung gusto mo naman makita kung ano yung impact, mas maganda talaga yung key results kasi pwedeng isa lang yung natapos mo, pero yun yung high value na work, di ba? So again, the way we present yung data natin can impact kung ano yung magiging interpretation ng receiver natin. Kaya I think this is very important for us, especially lahat tayo client-facing technically. Ayun lang, CJ.
So yun, more on talaga siya, perception management pa rin, no? Tsaka yung sa impact of things, kung paano siya i-present. So next, pabasa naman ko ulit. Si Casey. Kung andito pa si Casey.
So po, ayun. So, Law 38. Ay, tama po ba?
Yes.
Law 38, think as you like, but behave like others. If you make a show of going against the times, flaunting your unconventional ideas and unorthodox ways, people will think that you only want attention and that you look down upon them. They will find a way to punish you for making them feel inferior. It is far safer to blend in and work with the common topic. Share your originality only with tolerant friends and those who are sure to appreciate your uniqueness.
Thank you. So, in summary, Law 38 says na you have to blend in to gain trust, express unconventional ideas strategically. So, parang yung mga ideas mo, ang naisip ko kasi na parang application nito is yun nga, pag designers or artists working in corporate environments. Kasi 'di ba, merong mga times wherein kapag bago ka doon sa work, you really have to check yung culture muna or what they've been doing. Kasi syempre, let's say you're working on a brand, meron na yung brand identity or yung usual na ideals nila kung ano yung sinusunod nila when it comes to design. So, instead of incorporating yung personal style mo, you have to follow what they're already doing. But of course, you still have your identity. And after mo malaman ano yung mga do's and don'ts, doon ka lang pwedeng mag-introduce ng mga pwede mo pang parang i-suggest to improve rather than just, making changes mo agad-agad. So, parang gano'n siya. Ayan. Tapos yung sa reversal, in creative industries or activist space, bold non-conformity is rewarded. Hiding your uniqueness may weaken your influence. Kasi di ba pag yung sa creative industries, sometimes kapag masyado na kayong pare-pareho, hindi rin siya okay. Kasi nga, you won't stand out. So, kapag hindi ka kasi unique, that may weaken your influence. Kasi wala nang different about you. So, for the discussion questions, so can you be authentic while conforming outwardly? Where's the line between strategy and self-betrayal? Parang si Jana yung gusto kong sumagot nito.
Can you be authentic while conforming outwardly? Where's the line between strategy and self-betrayal? I think, this applies most to people na, alam mo yung extroverted introverts. Na they were called to be introverts, but because of the nature of their job, they are, extroverts kapag they're on the clock. Ganun. So, in a way, it's not you being fake or lying to yourself. However, syempre, you have a different version of yourself sa kung ano ng situations or environment na nandun ka. So, it's just showing another side of you. And at the same time, making sure na you're being able to parang accommodate and work with the environment that you have. So, kasi parang dati struggle yun ng mga introverted people na nagiging leaders, nagiging managers. Kasi nahihirapan sila na how can I talk to people if I don't like people? Or how can I be with people if I don't like people? So sometimes it's not faking or it's not being genuine. Pero more of you're trying to blend that. You're trying to show a different side of yourself. Something na they might be interested in or they might be accepting towards that group or that culture. Where's the line between strategy and self-betrayal? I think creating relationships only becomes self-betrayal when the relationships you build doesn't serve parang a good purpose to you. Kasi nagpakatotoo tayo dito. Pinifriend naman natin yung friends natin, tinutupan natin yung people. We build networks kasi we see these people as potential friends, lifelong friends, or good network sa list natin na somebody that can understand you or can help you in the future. So it becomes self-betrayal when you know na the things that you do to conform sa group men or sa environment na yun is already harming you or harming other people. So as long as you don't harm other people, as long as you don't harm yourself, go. I support you all the way. Thank you. Amen. Goodbye.
Thanks, Jana. Ying, may inputs ka na.
For me, can you be authentic while conforming outwardly? Yes. Parang as long as you know where you're rooted from, if you have moral compass or lack thereof. So basically, alam mo kung saan ka, where do you stand up? So, yes, Jana?
Sorry. Kinabahan lang ako dun sa lack thereof mo ng moral compass.
As long as you stand on your feet, you stand on your moral compass, you stand on your lahat, integrity and all, you will not be able to betray yourself and push for your right. Hindi naman right. Push for what you believe in. So, yun lang.
Thank you.
May gusto ko input. Sorry, CJ.
Sige, go.
I remember. Hindi, may pinaka-basic lang tong application sa akin. Itong Law 38. Think as you like, but behave like others. So, like, let's say, I remember, alam to ni Earl, alam to ni Ate Jana. So, when I speak English normally, it's like, before medyo hoods lang siya. Literal na hoods lang. Ganon. So, I remember I was having this first-time client who's from UK. Tapos, normally sa chat nila, syempre, yun yung nakasanayan ko na normally magchat-chat ako I ain't gonna. Ganun ako eh. Parang sa normal siya, I ain't gonna do it. Ganun. So I remember, napagsabihan ako ni Ate Eloy kasi sinabihan niya ako na nag-chat ako sa group ng WhatsApp with a client with a hood slang nang hindi siya like formal English. So parang ako, oo nga no. Parang very wrong. Tapos yung one thing din na ano ko is like, syempre, parang yung one thing naman na natutunan ko sa kanila, normal sa kanila magsabi ng love. In a normal conversation, like, love, have you done this? So parang syempre, as a Filipino, medyo weird siya sa atin eh, na you don't speak the word love up until literally parang may something in it or like in a normal client tone. So, staying there for like 3 years, I think parang, let's say, nung una, medyo nahihiya pa ako na mag-chat ng, hey, for example, Jana, love, what are you doing? Are you okay, love? Ganun sila sa normal tone nila sa sa chat. Pero like, as you go there, kasi parang minsan, yun yung form nila ng pagsabi, di ba para sa atin is like, boss. Boss, paasikaso naman to. Boss, pa ganito naman. Sa kanila, hindi uso yung word na boss. Parang sa kanila, when you're part of the team, the term is like love. Or like, when you say like, parang kapag mag-ano ka na, halimbawa, I'm gonna log out, hugs and kisses, normal siya, girl. Normal siya. Isipin mo, everyday kayong magla-log out, XO, may ganun yung end nung end nung chat. So parang, I'd say, parang sa akin is, authenticity, I think, is not always equal to total transparency. Kasi when it comes to parang pag may client ka, you still believe and hold your views. Pero, you only choose wisely when and how you can express them. So, for example, dahil yung kliyente ko is like from UK, I tend to like go by their how they behave in a normal basis. Pero that doesn't mean I do that in a normal basis on my end. Kasi we're not doing that in a normal basis on our end. So, parang sa akin, doon pumapasok yung strategic conformity mo as a VA na yung client mo is coming from UK. The same thing goes with like, let's say, right now, I'm working from a law firm. Girl, hindi ko magagamit yung love at saka XO na dati ko nagagamit sa kliyente ko. Kasi that's gonna be weird. Formal silang lahat. So, parang up until, parang tanda ko, there was one time na yung mismong boss ko, nagsabi siya ng OMG sa chat. After siguro 1 year na ako nag-work sa kanya. Doon ko lang na-realize na, pwede pala ako mag-OMG. Kala ko kasi puro formal lang kami and deep English dito. Kasi girl, who uses like, parang inculcate in a normal conversation, standard English conversation. Like, diba? So parang doon mo maano na, pwede pala ako mag-OMG in a normal conversation. So, yun lang. Parang sa akin lang din is, at the end of the day, you tend to conform based on your client's behavior kasi yun doon sila normalized. Pero, at the end of the day, parang you're still authentic kasi you're acting in service of your long-term goals, which is like parang magstay pa sa kliyente mo for a long time. Pero at the end of the day, that doesn't change your identity. Kasi you're just choosing what's appropriate for the context of your work. Ang galing ko doon. Charis. Yun lang.
Ayun. Kasi ano rin siya, parang tag dito, yung sabi nga, strategic conformity protects your position. So, you have to be strategic in terms of, like yung dun sa mention yung sweet na example, may mga cultural differences kasi, di ba? So sometimes, when you're dealing with clients, like yung na-mention niya na you're working with a law firm is different from pagka ang client mo is someone na on sales or someone na doing like content creation, marketing, ganyan. So, very different yung culture nila. So, you have to confirm depending on what your client is. Kasi, sometimes, meron din silang specific na parang company identity na ito yung dapat core values na pinapakita nyo as a team. Parang ganyan. So, yun. Any other inputs before we go to the next law?
Ako po, meron po ako.
Go home.
Ayun, I agree with what everyone mentioned. And just to add lang din po, I think na us, kasi it's very, yung ganitong setup, very evident po sa atin na working directly with the client. Kasi not all the time naman yung gusto natin or yung parang personality natin directly matches our client or yung work ethics natin directly matching sa work ethics ni client. Pero I think it's important to remember na abiding or conforming with the SOPs or any standards na meron ang any work environment, any client, or any environment per se na papasokan natin. does not necessarily mean it compromises our work ethics. Parang we can show authenticity pa din by the quality of outputs na sinasubmit natin, by showing up on a daily basis and putting yung something from ourselves, like from our authentic selves, like for example yung work ethics, quality of outputs, not just the design pero yung parang personal touches mo with everything that you do on a daily basis din. So I think that's where the line stands between conforming dun sa ganun or parang I think it's only self-betrayal if you make it to the point na ma-disrespect mo na yung sariling principles mo just for the sake na makapag-abide ka sa nare-request sa'yo. So as long as sabi nga ni Miss Yel na nare-retain mo yung moral ground mo or nare-retain mo yung own thinking mo, as long as hindi ka pa sunod-sunod lang na to the point na wala ka ng parang sariling rationality, ayun, I think hindi naman siya self-betrayal in that point. Yan lang.
Yeah, it's not necessarily na kailangan mong i-bend yung integrity mo or moral compass mo or values mo. Like, just put it this way, like Bryce is so young, tapos binend niya na, nagnanakaw na siya and all, and he knows it. Yun, doon na yung line of self-betrayal. But if you don't do that, then good ka pa rin, as long as you follow the rules and legal.
I think doon din pumapasok yung, kaya whenever we hire, we always check if the person is culture fit with us. Kasi ang hirap din na magpapasok ka ng team member na hindi culture fit sa atin. Kasi ito lagi kong disclaimer kasi usually ako yung nagre-reach out sa mga consultants natin. Ang lagi kong disclaimer is hindi tayo corporate coded. Very parang tayo, student org na profitable. Ganun yung atake natin. So lang, chami-chami lang, close lang sa isa't isa. Friendly lang yung approach, pero kapag work.
Yep.
So, high quality output, pero we're not corporate coded na kada mali mong galaw is meron kang DA, hindi kailangan na very formal sa mga meetings, walang uniform. Alam niyo yung mga things like that na baka kasi ako, I always use it as a disclaimer kasi ayaw ko na isipin nila na just because we're not corporate coded, we're not professional. Kaya lagi kong sinasabi na, okay, hindi kami corporate coded, pero when it's work, we work. Kung may kailangan si client, we deliver. So, I think that's part of it. Tapos, kaya rin siguro, most of our terminations are culture-driven rather than performance-driven. Kasi lagi nating sinasabi na if it's performance, maybe we can still improve it. But if it's values, mukhang hindi talaga tayo match. So, we'll let you go. Not because we don't like you, but maybe we're not the proper environment to nurture you to grow you. Ayun. Yun lang, Siege.
Actually, may naisip ako dito, just regarding yung confirming output. Parang yung nagko-confirm ka dun sa environment. Diba? Meron kasing mga instances wherein, kunyari magkaka-work kayo, you don't really have to be friends with everyone in the workplace. You just have to, hindi mo sila kailangan na you like them, yung parang as in friends kayo outside of work. Pero you have to be civil with, at least with everyone to keep the yung parang professional environment lang. So, okay lang kahit hindi kayo friends sa labas as long as within dito, pa din, baga you're civil and in a way, you act professionally. So, parang hindi mo naman kailangan na alisin yung identity mo just because yung parang kailangan mong pilitin sarili mo to like someone just because you're working with them. But at least, make sure na you're civil with that person. Yun. Wala, naisip ko.
Next week!